Making sure your team are accurately receiving and processing your transfers and purchase orders is critical to making sure your inventory is accurate. And we give you a number of tools to do this to make sure the process you want to follow is followed by your team in store. Let's go to settings to see how this works. Firstly, you can control what they have access to, which tiles and options they have within our Stock Takes app. You can control it from here. Next, we have the permissions they have. So you can decide if they can create any of these items from point of sale or not. So again, only being able to create them either in Shopify admin or point of sale, giving you control over who has access to what. If you want to set any predefined ad hoc adjustment reasons, if you're making small inventory changes outside of Stock Takes, you can do that here, and we covered that in a separate video. If you'd like to use vendor cost on your purchase orders, you can set this here. This will add a meta field to your product variants in Shopify, where you can set a cost for them outside of Shopify's unit cost. If you are transferring or purchasing goods from a supplier in packs, for example, if something comes in just a pack of 5, you can click Use Pack Size Configuration, and we'll add a meta field to the product that will allow you to configure this. And then when you generate transfers or purchase orders with us, we will always generate it to a multiple of that pack size. Or if you've added items manually, we will show you a warning if they aren't in that pack size, so you know you're always ordering the right amount. We provide back order warnings. So if you're creating a purchase order and items have been on back order with a supplier, you can configure this here, and then we'll provide you a warning so you don't reorder it again. You don't have to manually then check or remember every purchase order. And lastly, you can control your workflows when teams are processing your transfers and purchase orders. Here you can set default configuration that will be applied to all newly created purchases, orders, and transfers in our app. For example, allowing the origin to go negative when making a transfer or not. If you'd like the team to have a button to click Pack All and pack it all in one go rather than scanning the items individually. If you'd like to allow the team to quickly receive all items with one big button. If you'd like the team to scan each item to ensure it's accurate. If you'd like one option to mark a transfer as complete or purchase order as complete and move it through all of the steps in one go. If you'd allow over-receiving, so if you want your teams to be able to over-receive on items when they're scanning them in and receiving against those, you can allow that here. What to do if unexpected items, for example, something you weren't expecting in a shipment, has arrived, you can either take no action or we can record it in the internal notes for you to review later, and you can configure any emails. You can set all these here, or you can go and set them on an individual transfer order or purchase order. Let's have a look. So if we go to transfers, select a transfer. Here we can go to configuration, and this is the same for purchase orders. And you'll see all the same settings, but you can override this for each transfer or purchase order on an individual basis. So for example, if you're in a rush and you need the team to just receive all very quickly on this transfer because you need the items for sale, you can enable that for that transfer just as a one-off. So you've got exact control over how that works and how your teams can work with purchase orders and transfers in our app.